To clean your brake pads, you'll need a couple things. One of them is sandpaper. I like to use 150 grit. It's not too fine and it's not too rough, and it leaves a good surface on your pads. You'll also need a lighter and some 70% or higher isopropyl alcohol. The first step of the process is to sand down some of the dirt off of your pads. You're going to want to take some sandpaper, put it face down on a flat surface, and take your pad and simply use it in a circular motion to get some of the dirt off and get the surface nice and abrasive and ready to be put back on the bike. This will help it dig into the pad, and it'll help to clean off any of the surface dirt. You want to repeat that process for the second pad, making some visual inspections so as not to remove too much pad material, but so as to remove all the dirt. Oftentimes the pad will take on a lighter color once you've broken through the layer of dirt on the outside. Personally, I also like to do the same process with my rotor, just to scuff it up a little bit and take off any of that dust that's clinging onto it and help it have a little bit more of an abrasive surface for when it goes back onto the bike. You'll want to repeat this process for both sides of the rotor, and something really important is to make sure your hands are free of any oils and grease, and make sure that you don't touch the rotor with greasy hands, because that'll work in the opposite direction and help contaminate it farther than it might already be. I like to put down a sacrificial piece of wood or metal so as not to harm the surface I'm working on. Take both of your freshly sanded pads and place them on the surface next to each other. Then take some 70% isopropyl alcohol or higher, fill the cap up with a small portion of alcohol, and simply drip a bit onto each pad. Then, one of the fun parts of the process, take your lighter and simply light each pad. And what this will do is it's going to burn off any oil, grease, or anything that's contaminating the pad, leaving the surface completely clean. Having an open flame is dangerous, so make sure you're in a safe area to do so. Simply wait for the flames to burn off, and eventually all of the alcohol will evaporate, leaving you with a freshly clean pad. Next step is to repeat this process of burning off the grease or dirt with your rotor. So again, take your isopropyl alcohol, pour a small capful, and simply drip it over the circumference of your rotor. Then, as we did with the pads, take your lighter and ignite the alcohol so as to clean off any grease. Working with flame is dangerous, and it is fun, but be careful and don't burn yourself. Using a clean shop towel or paper towel, wipe off any excess alcohol that didn't burn away by dabbing at the pad and dabbing at the rotor to remove any moisture. Being as it's alcohol, any residual drips will eventually evaporate. After you finish this process, you'll be left with a clean set of pads and a clean rotor that is free of any contamination, dirt, or oils. Upon completion, take both your pads and your rotor, reinstall them on your bike, and after a couple minutes of braking in, you'll be ready to go with a fresh set of brakes. Thanks for watching today's video, guys. We hope this helps you out, and gets you back on the trail with some fresh stopping power.